Okay guys, so today I'm doing a Supreme Darkness spreadsheet video. This is made by Donax. So the demo has 3 sample combos, and I'll put the link to the full spreadsheet in the description below. I'll also put the link to his YouTube, although I believe that he is taking a break from YouTube, so it's really just the full spreadsheet that you might find useful. I have not looked at these replays yet, so I'll also be commenting on them as they go, but supposedly there are also 19 advanced lines that show about how to play through interruptions like hand traps, Mulcharmy, shifter, detonator, etc. Remember, this is Supreme Darkness format, so for the people that were saying it's cool that I'm making Alliance Insight videos, but they want to see more current format stuff because Supreme Darkness is about to start, okay, so here's the first video in Supreme Darkness for you. Okay, so the first one is Diabell Star and 1 spell. So let's see the starting hand here. These are all DB replays. Diabell Star and 1 spell. And I guess there are also some blanks because he has the Fool Loss in hand. Okay, so the starting hand is that he is summoning Diabell Star by pitching a blank, and he has a spell or trap in his hand, and then there's another blank here. So Diabell Star will set Deception. Deception will tribute. Okay, so I guess this has to be a monster blank, not just a regular blank, because the Deception has to tribute a monster from hand or field. So there's a true blank, and then there's a monster blank. Anyhow, you search for Hallowed Azamina. Hallowed will tribute Deception to bring out Murcielago, which will get Wanted. Okay, now we turn Murcielago and the Witch into Moon of the Closed Heaven, and turn Moon of the Closed Heaven into Requiem. Shuffle back Murcielago to get back Hallowed Azamina. Activate Hallowed, chain Wanted, and I assume that we're adding back the Witch from the grave because we only play 1 Witch, otherwise we might leave that in grave and get another one from deck. But I think that you probably should be on 1 Witch because the Wanted is so searchable now. And it's the higher value card. You'd rather draw Wanted than Witch basically every time. So I guess he's playing 1 Witch, and that's why. So anyhow, we add back the Witch, we make Ilia Sylvia, and now we're insulated as we go through the whatever this Fiendsmith line is going to be. So we dump Engraver off of Lacrima. Engraver will shuffle back Closed Heaven to summon itself out, and then Engraver and Lacrima are going to link into Sequence, which will now bring out Aerial Eater. Okay, so we shuffle back the Engraver and, what was that? The Requiem, I think, to make Aerial Eater. So 2 Fiend monsters with the same attribute, so that checks out. And when this one is summoned, you can send a Fiend monster from your deck to the grave. So this one will dump Vision Resonator, and this one, where does it say? If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a spell or trap that mentions Red Dragon Archfiend from your deck to your hand. Also, the first one is if a level 5 or higher dark monster is on the field, you can special summon this card. So I assume that the sequence of this is that Ilia Sylvia is not only an early protection, but it is also the condition for being able to special summon the Vision Resonator. Okay, so the Vision Resonator will get Crimson Gaia. Crimson Gaia can add back the Vision Resonator from the grave. And now because you control a level 5 or higher dark, you can special summon the Vision Resonator when you want. Now here we're going to turn the Sequence and the Aerial Eater into an Agnum Day, and the Agnum Day is going to special summon the Lacrima. Okay, so now this makes sense because the Lacrima is a level 4, the Vision Resonator is a level 2, and these, I assume this is what the bridges can go into Arciela. And then you have like a free spell or trap here also to send in Crimson Gaia because this doesn't go away. Okay, so you go into Arciela, you send the Crimson Gaia, you search for the LZ. LZ will pitch the spell or trap that you're not getting back, and you haven't used your normal yet. So you normal the Sylvie, you search for Unleashing. Okay. Now you go into Diabell, you add back the one that you pitched, in this case it's an Imperm. Now you turn the Diabell and the Sylvie into a Cross Sheep. Okay. And then I think he just shuffled back the Arciela to special summon out the Sylvie to a zone that Cross Sheep points to. And Cross Sheep already points to a fusion, so now he can bring out a level 4 or lower, which is the Lacrima of the Crimson Tears. So now that will go into Abao. Okay, so the reason that this makes sense is that this says 2+ monsters, including a Fiend monster. So the Cross Sheep is 2 of the 4 link material ratings required, and Lacrima and Sylvie are 1 each, but this is a Fiend, and the reason he went into Agnum Day to bring out 1 body, instead of just going for like a Desiree line, is because he specifically wanted a Fiend to go into Abao. Okay, so now he uses Abao effect, where you can discard a card. Sorry, where is it? You can, during the main phase, you can discard 1 card, then activate one of these effects, destroy a card on the field. We're obviously not doing that right now. Banish this card until the end phase, and if you do, special a light or dark monster from your grave. So that's how he gets back the Diabell, Queen of the White Forest. And then in the end phase, the Deception will reset itself. The Unleashing has already reset itself. Whatever the blank spell or trap was, we got back. We have Ilia Sylvia for the Omni. We have the Abao for the pop on the opponent's turn. We have the Diabel that can send the Deception for free or the blank or whatever. And then we have Hallowed Engrave. Would we be able to cycle? I guess, so we'd be able to get the Hallowed back because we would use the Sylvia probably on their turn. So that's a pretty cool bridge with the Vision Resonator. I'll give my thoughts after I've done all of the combos. There are only 2 more. So, okay, this one is an Engraver one. Okay, so fast forward. Let's see the starting hand here. So we have Engraver. I assume this is just a blank, the Foolos. The Foolos is another blank. And we put back the Tract. Okay, so we have Engraver and 2 blanks. Okay, so Engraver gets Tract. Tract dumps Lurie specials. We go into Requiem. Requiem into Lacrima, which dumps an Engraver. Engraver shuffles back Engraver to bring itself out. Goes into Sequence. Shuffles back Engraver and Lurie to make the Aerial Eater that dumps the Vision Resonator that can now get the Crimson Gaia. Okay. Crimson Gaia can add back the Vision. Here we go into Agnum Day again because the Aerial Eater and the Sequence add into 3, and now the Agnum Day can give us back the Lacrima. But, oh, so we have to normal summon the Vision Resonator here, right? Because you can only special summon this if you have a level 5 or higher Dark Monster, and this is a light level 4. So we normal summon the Vision Resonator, and we turn the Vision Resonator and the Lacrima into an Arciela. And that can send the Crimson Gaia that's still on the field to get Tails, which will get Azamina LZ. So is there a reason... Wait, did we go through LZ already? No, right? It's because this is the first time that we're searching. So I guess the reason that you would go for Azamina LZ here and not regular LZ is dependent on your hand. Because if you had another Speller Trap, you could summon LZ first, send the Speller Trap, get Azamina LZ anyhow, summon this, use this for the thing. But I guess you'd be going wide and putting bodies on the field, which is kind of like less safe right now. Anyhow, let's just see. So those go into Diabel. Diabel will add back Tails, and then the Azamina LZ will search Wanted, which will give us the Witch, which will pitch a blank to get Deception, which will tribute a monster blank, which will give us Hallowed, which will send Deception and bring out Murcielago, which will give us another Wanted, because I guess we're about to loop this. Okay, so now we make Cross Sheep again with Black Witch and Murcielago, which will give us the body to shuffle back the... Well, we already have Azamina LZ engraved, so we don't need this engraved to get back the Hallowed, but I guess we could use either now. So we shuffle back Murcielago, add back Hallowed. Now we can Hallowed bring out Ilia Sylvia, and now because it's a fusion, we get to bring back out the Light Fiend. Well, really just it's a Fiend. And then we can turn the Cross Sheep, the Diabel, and the Fiend, the Lacrima, I assume, into Abao again. And now Abao can send the Tails to add back the Diabel, and this will trigger Tails. And here he goes for the draw, so the LZ is just the draw, as opposed to resetting the Deception. So in this case, I assume that the reason he has opted for the draw and not resetting Deception is because Tails is usually one of the best cards that you want to send off of Diabel, because it will reset itself, but it's also follow-up, whereas the Deception isn't follow-up per se. So... yeah, because you're not going to get the Deception back if you send it off of the Diabel, whereas you will if you get the Tails. So even though you have your Hallowed in rotation, if you don't have another way to access a Sinful Spoils card, you won't be able to use it. So, okay, that makes sense to me. Okay, now for the last one. So this one says, this shows how hard drawing Vision is good for the end board and makes you commit a lot less with the discards. That was going to be my main question, is like, well, what if you draw the combo pieces that you're playing to make this stuff work? Like, is that worse? So let's see. So we have one blank. Okay, so we have one blank, we have Witch, and we have Vision Resonator. So Diabel Star will get Deception, which will tribute the Vision to get Hallowed Azamina. The Vision being sent to the grave will add Crimson Gaia. Now we can Hallowed send Deception to get Murcielago, which will give us Wanted. Okay, so we link those two into Moon, and then, or are we going into, okay, Requiem. And I assume now that the Murcielago is in the grave, that allows us to give us back the Hallowed. So the Hallowed shuffles back Murcielago, adds itself to hand. Now we can Hallowed Chain Wanted, add back the Witch from grave, because we presumably only play one Witch. So now we have the Omni before we go into the Fiendsmith stuff. And, okay, so now, and then we also now have the condition to special summon the Vision, because we have Ilia Sylvia on field. So now we go into Arciela, send the Crimson Gaia, go for LZ, shuffle back Moon to bring out Engraver, equip Requiem, okay, because we want another spell or trap. So we send the equipped Requiem to be able to bring out the Elzet, which searches a Stellar. Okay, let's see why he's making a Stellar. So Diabel adds back Crimson Gaia, summon a Stellar, pitch Gaia, get Sylvie, which searches Unleashing. Okay, and those go into Moon, and those go into Sequence, and this shuffles back Engraver, Closed Heaven, and Requiem to make Desiree, but then we're going into Agnum Day. Okay, and Arciela shuffles itself back to bring out the Sylvie, and then the Sylvie and the Agnum Day go into the A-Bow. Okay, so the A-Bow pitches the Unleashing that we searched. Okay, so this is why we went for a Stellar, because we were going to trigger this to banish itself to bring back, and now that can trigger the Stellar because the Unleashing was sent as cost, and that makes Little Knight. And I guess, okay, so the reason that we're going for a Stellar here is it gives us one more interaction, I guess. So there's, instead of just Ilia Sylvia, A-Bow, and Diabel, we also have the Little Knight, and then there's the Unleashing and the Deception. And then we're obviously going to have Hallowed as part of our follow-up on the next turn, and we have another Diabel in hand. Okay, so that seems pretty decent. Okay, I'm not going to say much more about the spreadsheet. I want to leave it as a short video, so the link will be in the description, and this also shows that what the starters are and the end board that you get from it. So if you don't want to buy the spreadsheet, you can look at the demo spreadsheet and see what you would get, or you can go over the demo combos yourself. One quick thing to add about this bridge with the Crimson Gaia stuff is this works if you put White Forest in any other deck that would have, for example, a level 4 tuner, and you're drawing stuff like Azamina Elzet, if you're playing it as a 3-of, because you could special summon that, and those would go into Arciela, and then you get the Arciela search and the Azamina Elzet search as well. So, but this is cool because you don't have to play it with another deck, you're just going straight into Fiendsmith stuff, and the Fiendsmith stuff gives you this. So it's really like an Azamina Fiendsmith deck that gives you Arciela, that gives you every single thing else. So that's the Supreme Darkness spreadsheet from Donax. If you have any suggestions or recommendations or whatever, leave it in the comments, and thanks for watching.